Hey guys, it's Alice. So ignore the really bad lighting, I'm sorry, I'm at uni, it's very bright over there but not so much over here. Today's video I am going to film what I'm planning on reading over the next coming months, and I'm only going to upload this when I've finished reading all of the books that I put on my winter reading list. So if you want to see that, I'll link it below and I'll try and link it on the screen. When you see this I will have read all of those books. I've read most of them, like the majority. I've got some new books that I'm planning on reading this semester whilst I'm at uni, and I've read a couple of books in between, so there's a couple of like second series here that you might not have seen before. So I'm just going to jump straight in because this is going to be quite a long video. And if you're new to my channel, I'd love for you to subscribe, it would make me really happy. I know that loads of people that watch my videos don't actually like books, but I really like books, so so the first one I'm going to start with is cheating a bit because it's the one I'm currently reading, and that is One Dark Throne by Kendare Blake. And if you saw my winter video, you know that this is the second book, and I had the first book in my winter video and I read that, I loved it so much so that I bought the second one. I'm not going to give it away because obviously this is a sequel and you have to know the first book to understand the second. So if you want to see a summary of the first book, it'll be in that winter video. So that's book number one that I'm reading. The second book is also a follow-on from the winter one, and so in my winter video I said that I wanted to read Snow Like Ashes, and I did, and so I bought the second book, which is called Ice Like Fire. Again, this is just a continuum. I'm gonna do all the ones that are like following series from the first video first, so that you can watch my winter video and understand them and then come back and understand the rest, if that makes sense. So I'm really excited for this because I loved the first book in the series and I actually can't wait to read this, but I'm holding myself accountable to finish the ones that I've put in my TBR, you know, for winter. This is huge. This book is like bigger than a normal book, only by a little bit, but it adds a difference. The next book is again carrying on. This is the last one that carries on from that video, and this is King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. So I read Glass Sword over winter, and again obviously amazing, very much carrying on from Red Queen, which is what this series is. Amazing fantasy series. Some people say that it has some tropes from other books such as The Hunger Games and things like that, which I do see, but I do think it completely makes it its own. So I really think this is worth a read if you like fantasy. It's also got a very strong female character. I don't know if this is the final book. I think there's one more, but I don't want to look for it without accidentally spoiling myself, so okay, that's another read. I'll explain this one because it might be a bit confusing. The next book, the fourth book on my TBR for spring, which is to be read if you don't know, is Magic Study by Maria B. Schneider, and this is the second book, as you can see by the number 2 in the, is it Poisoners? No, this is the second book in the Chronicles of Ixia series. I basically bought these books in like mass bulk, so I just bought the entire series without having read it, and so now I've got like 9 books at home that I haven't read, and so I read the first one, reading the second one. I'll describe the first one to you so I'm not giving anything away. The first one is called Poison Study, and so the second one, obviously Magic Study, is going to follow from that. But the first one is about this girl called Yelena who is in prison for murder, and then she gets the chance to become the king's poison taster, poisoner. Basically she has to eat all of the food that the king eats to see if it's poison, so she's got to learn all the different types of poison, what they smell like, what they taste like, so that she can identify if the king's going to be poisoned, so she can stop it. And that's basically her only way out of not being killed. This is just the beginning of her story. Clearly her story is 6 books long, so it's going to be a while, but she discovers things about herself that she didn't know, and secrets that could get her killed if people found them out about her, because there's a separation of land, and if anyone knows anything about magic, they're killed basically. So she has some deep secrets that she doesn't even know about herself. I love this book, and also these series, and the covers are just really pretty. I'm really excited to read this. The next one, we're spicing it up a bit with a contemporary book. Ooh, this is a shock amidst all of the fantasy. So this one I saw in a bookshop, and I remember reading the blurb and liking it, so I wrote it down on my notes, and then when I next went on Amazon and did like a mass buy of books, this was one of them. Just so everyone knows, I get every single one of my books off of Amazon, every single one. I don't always buy them from Amazon. Sometimes I buy them from companies that sell through Amazon at a cheaper price. Amazon does this thing where occasionally you get 3 paperbacks for £10, which I do quite a lot, which I think I got this in that deal. So I'll read the back. It's been a year since Paige's first boyfriend died in a swimming accident, and it's time she rejoined the real world. So she makes a plan. Date a boy, long-standing crush Ryan Chase seems like the perfect choice. Attend parties with his best friends by your side, doable. Join a club, simple enough, right? Travel, might as well dream big. And swim, terrifying, impossible, because her boyfriend died in a swimming accident. But when she meets Ryan's sweet but so nerdy cousin Max, he opens up her world and Paige's plans start to change. Is it too late for a second chance at life? Basically, this is just going to be for me when I've had enough of the really intense fantasy books and just want a fluffy contemporary to read. I mean, you can just tell by the covers, like, it's going to be light-hearted. Yeah, that is by Emery Lord. Next one, back to the fantasy again. Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I don't really know that much about this book. I just know that everybody on YouTube who talks about books is really loving this book. So when it came up in that 3 for £10 deal, I was like, you got me. I think it's something like a circusy type-esque thing. I mean, it's called Caraval, so basically, oh yeah, I really don't know much about this. I just know that everyone has been absolutely loving it, so I really can't wait to read it. I don't really know what I can say. Even the cover is just like cool, do you know what I mean? Again, this is another one I don't really know that much about. I kind of know. Basically, this is Stealing Snow by Danielle Page, and from what I know about this, it's kind of a retelling of the Ice Queen story. I'll read you the blurb, because that's my easy way out. Snow barely remembers a time before she's locked in a psychiatric hospital, but when the love of her life disappears in the night, Snow must follow a mysterious stranger into a magical frozen world to find him. Amidst witches, thieves and spells, secrets unravel as Snow discovers she is heir to this world's corrupt and twisted king, and she has great ice powers of her own. Now Snow faces choices that will decide the fate of the kingdom and if she can ever return to the life that she knew before. This one I feel like I'm going to read at the beginning of spring, because this is a bit more of a wintry book, but I didn't get it until spring, so. And then the final one, this is when I get proper nerdy. It's Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. Anyone who watches BookTube, any YouTubers who talk about books, Sasha Alsberg is from the channel A Book Utopia, and I mentioned her before in one of my previous videos. Like, if she recommends books, like, I take it seriously, you know, like, I love it. And she has co-written this story, and it's a sci-fi book, which is not really what I usually go for, but she's written it, so I want to read it. And one of my favourite ever authors, Sarah J Maas, has blurbed it. She says, a whirlwind out of this galaxy adventure. So I have to read it. The only thing is, my copies come with like ink stains all over it, but I mean, I don't really mind, but heartbroken. It's set in outer space. It's kind of this like futuristic all-girl pirate crew. I'm just excited. I think it sounds like such a cool idea. I'm really excited because like, I love Sasha, and the fact that she's written a book and it's been blurbed by one of her favourite authors, like, that must be absolutely amazing for her, do you know what I mean? So I'm just very excited to read this. I don't know, I've got to support the community, do you know what I mean? But yeah, so that is me done. That is the 8 books that I'm planning on reading over spring. And I know it seems like quite a lot, but so far in 2018 I have read 7 books, so we're on a good start. I'm just excited to read all of these, and then summer will roll by, and that is the season of contemporaries. Yeah, also, I don't really feel like dressing up, so I'm just wearing my Beacon Hills jumper because I've been lacking on my Teen Wolf watching recently. So I'm just going to have to find a season to rewatch and just rewatch it because commitment. But yeah, so that is all from me today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any books that you're planning on reading over the next couple of weeks, or any that you've read recently that you've really loved, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I would really love to hear from you guys. But yeah, so that is all from today. I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you've all had an amazing day, and I will see you hopefully next Monday with another video.